Oh shit!
I've been working on this aeroid substrate for a while now, and I think I finally understand what actually matters. Because for the longest time, I felt like I wasn't growing plants. I was just managing problems.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always!
One mix would stay too wet, another would dry out way too fast, and every plant was reacting differently.
Okay, please don't play with me right now.
And I kept thinking, there has to be a way to make this more consistent. So I started testing everything. I tried chunky mixes, fine mixes, semi-hydro setups, different ratios of the same components, and on paper, a lot of them made sense. But in practice, it was unpredictable.
I don't know, I just don't think this is like great for me. I don't want to do it.
Like one plant would thrive, and the one next to it would struggle. And I couldn't tell if it was the mix, the watering, or the environment. And that's when I entered my experiment era.
Back to the computer. Oh my gosh, I'm such a nerd.
So I went through this phase where I constantly was tweaking things. Adding more perlite, less perlite. More organic, less organic. And every time I thought I found the one, something would still be off.
So, my eyes are correct.
Either it was holding too much water, or it dried too inconsistently, or it just didn't scale across different plants. And it got to a point where I realized, I don't need a perfect mix. I need something predictable.
Where's the flavor? Where's the flavor in this?
And there was my breakthrough. I stopped trying to find the perfect soil and started thinking about control. How do I reduce variables? How do I make something that behaves the same way every single time I use it? Because once something is consistent, you can actually learn from it. You can then adjust your watering, your humidity, your setup, and things start to make sense. So after all that, this is what I landed on. And I'm not going to overcomplicate it. It's a chunky, structured mix that prioritizes airflow, drainage, and consistency.
Yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check. I was an employee. And I was going to get Employee of the Month. And that's on period.
Every component in here has a job. Nothing is in there just to be in there. And once I switched everything over, that's when I started noticing the difference. Roots became way more consistent. Growth became more predictable. And I wasn't constantly guessing anymore. It just felt easier. Like I wasn't fighting the plant anymore. But honestly, the mix is only part of it.
You gotta be kidding me.
What really made this work was building a system around it. Dialing in the humidity, creating stable environments, having different zones for different stages. That's what allowed the mix to actually perform. Because a good substrate and a bad setup will still give you problems. And now I'm at the point where I'm using this across everything. Plants I'm growing out, plants I'm acclimating, plants I'm getting ready to sell. It's not just an experiment anymore. It's how I run my whole setup. If there's anything I've learned from this, it's that simplicity wins. You don't need the most complicated mix. You need something you understand, something consistent, because once you have that, everything else becomes easier to control. If you've been struggling with substrate, you're not crazy. There's just a lot of variables. I'm going to keep documenting what's working, what's not, and just getting better over time.
It's 4th of July. I'm ready to pop these firecrackers. Don't pop them on me. What the police say?
The police right there.